Mount Nebo is unique in that it is a state park that also has private residences. 1/3 of the mountain is occupied by these private residents. Some of the families have had their homes on the mountain for generations. Listen as Miss Judy Prince tells some of her accounts of living on Mount Nebo.
My family has been coming to Mount Nebo before it was a state park in the 1800s, in the late 1800s. And my grandmother first, she lived in a house where A.B. Cox lives. It's one of the 3 houses down the foot of the hill here. My grandmother's father lived in the house where A.B. lives, and my grandfather and grandmother lived in the house next door. By the time that I was born in 1914, this is where my grandmother lived and where my mother and father came to, and that was in this house, which was built in 1892. Well, since I was a little girl, I loved Mount Nebo. It's a relaxing place and more or less free and 8 to 10 degrees cooler than in the summertime than down below. My husband enjoyed Nebo too, and in 1970 he retired from the Department of Agriculture, so we moved everything that we had to the mountain. But anyway, that's why I guess that I'm continue to live on the mountain. Now, the dances that were here, during the early days, they had a dance hall in the old hotel, and it was a big space. They had a screen porch around the about 3 sides of that building, I think. So there was ample space for people to dance. When I was young and loved to dance, there was a pavilion, a rather large frame building on the Sunrise Point. It was a square building, and it had seats all around the inside. There was a place to sit and be cool. And the way it has changed. In the early days, though, people had to really live by their wits, and without a telephone, without a good road up on the mountain. That's part of the recreation nowadays, that people like to walk up the mountain, hike up the mountain and down for their exercise. I'd just like to say that Nebo has been a real big part of my 96 years, and maybe it has something to do with how long I've lived. But I really have had a happy life on Mount Nebo, and love the old mountain. And I like for others to come up and enjoy it also.
Mount Nebo is made special by the people who call it home, and they don't mind sharing their beautiful space with visitors. So come on up and enjoy.